either from my home to work or from my home to school. It takes me about 34.5 miles to get from my house to the parking lot in COD. Right now, the average price in gasoline is about $3.47. So which means my car eats like about $40 per week. Thank God I have a 4-cylinder car. In an article, the average price for gasoline in the U.S. is $3.53, and yet in some West Coast cities, price still hovers around $4 per gallon. Mentioned Khadija Safdar from the Huffington Post. Today I will persuade you by first telling you one of my first points, which would be the change in price over the years. Second, explain why we need to go to other countries to get our supplies. And third, my plan of action, which would be to use alternative fuels, alternative cars. To hit my first point, I will talk about how gasoline changes over the years. We all want change, but we don't want the change that is going to hit you in the face in the morning when you wake up and you realize that you have to pay $4 per gallon. That's outrageous. Average prices rose 29% nationally in 2011, a jump of 89.5 cents a gallon to the year's peak of $3.96. In California, it also rose 29% last year for a 95-cent increase to a high of $4.25 per gallon. Mentioned Ronald D. White in his article, gasoline prices start the year at a high and raising from the LA Times in January 6, 2012. He then goes on and mentions that, of course, the gas prices are not going to always be at a stable pace, so they're going to keep changing. He mentions, of course, current prices don't guarantee the future, but price analysts agree that predict that we will be digging deep to fuel our gasoline. Okay, so we don't get our gasoline we don't get oil from the U.S., which means that we get our oil from other countries. So in an article, gasoline prices start the year high and rising from Ronald D. White in January 6, 2012. He mentions that in addition, U.S. refineries have been exporting record amounts of diesel fuel as they pursue profits from foreign buyers, causing an increase in diesel production and expenses in oil production and gasoline production. So it's basically like a domino effect. If you tip one, it's going to cost for the others to fall, and we could expect higher gasoline prices. So I slightly mentioned our involvement with other countries, which leads me to my second point, why we need to go to other countries. When I was small, they always told me that this country was independent. Hint, July 4th, which is Independence Day. But I came to realize that we get oil from other countries, so does that really make us independent? In the article, California faces increasing dependence on high-priced oil imports. Ronald D. White from LA Times mentions in March 30, 2012, and since California, only other significant source of U.S. oil is from Alaska, the news is doubly bad. Alaska onshore and offshore production decline has been precipitous, falling from 50 million barrels to 39 million barrels per month. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of supply and demand. So if we have more supply, that means that it's going to cost us less. But if we have less demand, that means that the gasoline prices are going to increase as time goes on. Now, for the solution. I don't know what you guys do when you guys face a problem, but I know I don't like to sit in my couch and wait for something to happen. I like to take action. And Nissan's Leaf US sale may jump after production starts here, but an article by Jerry Kirsch in May 24, 2012, from LA Times mentioned that the Nissan Leaf, an all-electric car, would be, they're going to produce about 150,000 new models. But since it's a new kind of vehicle, I know many people don't like to buy new things because they don't know the outcome of it. So they don't want to take risks. But, I mean, life is all about taking risks. Another alternative would be compressed natural gas vehicle, for example, a Honda Civic. In an article in LA Driving the Dark Horse in the Green Car of the year in November 16, 2011, from the New York Times, explains that compressed natural gas is available in 36 states. Also, mechanics are working on changing gasoline-powered vehicles, cars, into compressed natural vehicle cars. So we may see, instead of gasoline-powered cars, we could see an increase in compressed natural vehicle cars, since they're being transformed from gasoline to compressed natural gas. Now, to conclude, I went over why there's a change in gasoline prices and why we need to go to other countries, and also my plan of action. So hopefully, with this in mind, your next car won't be a gasoline-powered car, and we need to demand more electronic-powered cars or compressed natural cars so that we could truly be independent. Thank you.